Everybody, welcome to Jacob's Quest, and today Disney has released 3 different clips from Falcon and the Winter Soldier here on YouTube. At least that's 3 so far. They're probably going to release more later, I imagine. The show comes out, I think, exactly in 1 week. I don't know if it actually airs on Wednesday or Friday. I think I heard Wednesday. I'm not actually sure. I'll have to look that up. But in any case, I figured, hey, let's watch these little clips for the first time. And then, yeah, we'll just talk about the show in general. So I'm going to actually watch all 3 of these. And yeah, let's just see what happens. Before I actually press play, though, you know, this show, from the trailers that we've seen, is kind of like a buddy cop situation going on. They kind of played that humor a lot, which, you know, I think they're going to do really good at. So anyways, let's go ahead and press play. Let's see what's going on.
I don't trust Red Wing. Hold on a minute.
You don't have to trust Red Wing. But I'm gonna go see if he's right. 'Cause I have a feeling they might be a part of the Big 3.
What Big 3?
The Big 3.
What Big 3?
Androids, aliens, and wizards.
That's not a thing.
That's definitely a thing.
No, it's not.
So every time we fight one of the 3.
So who are you fighting now, Gandalf?
How do you know about Gandalf?
I read The Hobbit in 1937 when it first came out.
So you see my point?
No, I don't. There are no wizards.
Doctor Strange
Is a sorcerer.
A sorcerer is a wizard without a hat. Think about it, right? I just came up with that.
What?
But look, that's not the point. These guys aren't magical. All right, they use brute force just like you. The incredibly annoying guy in front of me with the staring problem.
I'm coming with you.
No, you're not.
Okay, all right, well, that was good. I love that they, you know, they're talking about the little nuances of their world. I feel like that's something that Marvel does it every once in a while. You know, they kind of bring out the fact that, like, hey, we have to live in this weird world where aliens and magic and all this nonsense exists. I want them to do it more. That's my one thing. Okay, so that was pretty good. I liked that. Also, he got so confused, like, how did you know about Gandalf? He's like, well, I read the, you know, when the books originally came out. That's pretty funny, actually. I like that a lot. Okay, so we're actually gonna play the next clip. Let's see. Here we go.
1 minute, 2 drop-offs, eh?
Are they staring at each other?
So what's our plan? Great. So no plan.
30 seconds!
He's just not talking to him at all.
Enjoy your ride, Buck.
No, you can't call me that.
Why not? That's what Steve called you.
Steve knew me longer, and Steve had a plan.
15 seconds to drop!
I have a plan.
Really? What is it?
Okay, all right, that was interesting. Okay, that seems to be exactly from where the other scene left off, because they were like headed towards an airplane. So that's probably literally like a couple seconds later they're in there. Interesting. I would suspect that a lot of this is probably either towards the end of the first episode or even towards like episode 2, because they appear to have already, you know, come across some of these villains.
These guys use brute force. They're strong. We're gonna need all hands on deck for whatever's coming next.
Sharon?
Here we go again, huh?
What's up? Why didn't you use the metal arm?
I'm right-handed.
Original series streaming March 19th, exclusively on Disney.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, did he say he's right-handed? That's funny. Okay, so that was all 3 of the clips. This last one was more of a trailer, less of an actual scene. You know, we actually reheard some dialogue. Yeah, so just to talk about the show in general, you know, first thing is that, especially after WandaVision and that whole thing, I feel like, you know, obviously we're getting a more grounded, more, you know, not real world, but however else you would say it, a more real world take on action and plot and everything that's happening. So this show's not going to be, you know, subject to all the crazy fan theories and, oh, this character can make a cameo and this could happen. You know, it feels like it's going to be a lot more just linear and just an enjoyable action show, kind of buddy cop comedy type situation going on. And I'm okay with that. In fact, I think WandaVision was so packed full of theories and speculation that I'm okay with having a more straightforward, like, all right, it's just a fun show, just enjoy it. Like, there's no, you know, no craziness is gonna happen or should be, you know, expected to happen, and be disappointed when it's not gonna happen or whatever, you know. And I think that's pretty cool. Some people have already seen the first episode. There's, you know, I've seen like a couple of reviewers online kind of talk about it, and you know, they're all saying it's great, and you know, it's Marvel, so you kind of expect, like, yeah, it's gonna be at the very least entertaining, if not really great. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited for the show, and hopefully what I'm hoping is that, like, this is one that kind of sneaks up on people, because I get the overall feeling that this is not as hyped as some other future projects, you know, like a lot of people are looking forward to like Loki and whenever the hell Black Widow eventually comes out, but this one is kind of more, they're like, yeah, I'll watch it, but eh. So I'm hoping that it sneaks up on people, and I'm hoping that there are at least a couple surprises, you know, so it should be enjoyable. I think the humor and the relationship of these two characters, I'm hoping it does the same thing with that WandaVision did, in the sense that, like, these are two characters that were kind of more on the side, you know, like they've been in plenty of movies, but they're not like main characters, and it kind of brings them to the forefront, and we like them even more now than we did before. So in WandaVision did that with Wanda and Vision. Like, I heard dozens of people talk about how, like, oh, I actually care about Wanda and Vision and their whole history and their emotions. Like, I actually care about them as characters because now we're like focusing on them in the story, and I'm hoping that this does the exact same thing, which it probably will. Now, the other thing, I kind of feel like we have to talk about Captain America here. So when we last saw him, I don't know, he either, his whole relationship with Peggy either happened in a split alternate timeline, or it happened in their timeline somehow, and he was like hiding the whole time. It's very unclear. I think even the writers and directors kind of like went back and forth on it. In any case, we last see him, he is probably in his 90s or something, and he's not dead though. And that's my thing about it, is that, like, it's plausible that he would make an appearance, especially like his two best friends are on an adventure. It feels like he should make an appearance. My fear though is that, you know, we've seen some other images of like Sam Wilson kind of like looking at the shield, and he kind of looks sad, and I'm like, oh, did he die? Is he gonna die in this show? I kind of feel like they're gonna have to kill off old Cap, and that's gonna be really sad, because that is our Captain America that we've been with the whole time. You know, his story kind of concluded already, you know, in a sense. He lived his life, but to actually like officially like, okay, and then he died, that's gonna be pretty sad, but it's gonna be like a really strong moment for the show, I think, and it's probably gonna happen. And yeah, as for the bad guys I think are the biggest mystery here, and I feel like that's actually kind of why maybe the hype for this show isn't as big as it might get later, is because we don't know that much about the bad guys. Like, we don't know the situation. We know that there's like a Captain America that the government chooses, and he's, you know, he's like this rip-off Captain America. And then we know that there's like this group of people who wear masks, and I think people are saying they're like the Flag Smashers, which, I'll be honest, you know, again, I read DC Comics, so I'm like, Flag Smasher, I had to look it up. He's like one guy, and the show might turn him into a group of people. I don't know. It's a whole thing. In any case, I think that's, you know, I'm hoping that the show will sneak up on us, that the hype will build over time as the show's going on, which, again, that's why these streaming services, and I understand, you know, at one point I was as impatient as anybody, but that's kind of the idea, is that, like, it's not just so that they guarantee you still stay, you know, subscribed to streaming service, but also I think it's better for the show. It serves the audience better. It creates a better fan community. Where with a weekly release than with just drop it all at once binge on a weekend. And I got some pushback on that when I posted that on Twitter a while ago, talking about how, like, you know, look at WandaVision's success over time. You know, go to the Google Analytics, and then you look at Cobra Kai's success, which spiked during one weekend and then immediately dropped because everyone watches it immediately and then it's over and no one is talking about it. Whereas WandaVision was talked about constantly every Friday for like 8-9 weeks, you know. So we're gonna get a similar situation to that, but again, maybe a little bit less intense because there's not like crazy like, oh, Pietro showed up and it might be a Fox thing. I'm not expecting anything like that, although they did mention Doctor Strange, and I don't want to like jump in there and be like, he's definitely showing up, but wouldn't that be crazy if like he shows up in this show but he didn't show up in WandaVision? That'd be kind of hilarious, but also you'd be like, why? Because people are already asking why he didn't show up in WandaVision. So if he shows up in this show, I mean, it'd be kind of funny. I mean, it'd be cool. I want Doctor Strange, I think, is probably like my number 3 of all the MCU characters. But in any case, the show looks cool. It's gonna be more grounded, but hopefully the hype builds. And I'm kind of suspecting that it will, because like I feel like right now it's like a very calm, like, yeah, I'll watch it, it's okay, and then it's gonna like explode and everyone's gonna be like, oh shit, it's really awesome. Or at least I'm hoping that's what happens. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Let me know how hyped you are right now, or do you think the hype will build naturally as the episodes go on? And yeah, what do you hope to see here? Do you hope to see cameos? Do you hope to see any kind of real crazy shocking twists? Or are you excited for just a pretty grounded action show that might have a couple like really interesting things later on down the road for the MCU? Anyways, let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!